What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rico No Suave. We are back. We are back, everybody. I'm super happy to be back with each and every one of you guys. And man, today is just a beautiful day here in Chicago. If you don't know where we're at, we're in Chicago, and it's they said Windy City, but it's Sunny City today. So thank you guys so much for actually being here as far as with us today, because I am super happy to be back with everyone. Hey, everybody, don't forget to support the journey of the Rico No Suave show on all platforms. So continue to show that love because we love you too. Yeah, we love you too. So this month, we got a couple things to talk about because a lot of things are happening this month. And the first one I do want to talk about is the Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So June is Men's Health Mental. I put that mental thing in there. I know we also talked about it in November as well too, but I just discovered that this actually came up in June as well too. So we do have, I do have friends and I do have family members when it comes to actually Men's Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. We talk about this, but we're also going to be talking about a little bit about the mentality of things as well too. So for me, it's more of how do we make sure that us as men continue to try and be not depressed, not want to actually, hurt ourselves internally from the heart as well as also physically. And also, sometimes we may feel exhausted, we might feel depressed. But one thing that I would tell you is, as a man, the one good thing is to be able to always find something adventurous to do. I love fishing, right? So one thing for me, I love to fish. And that makes me feel like I have some patience going on there. And also, I talk to family members as well, too. When I talk to family members about some of the problems that I'm going through, as a man, it makes me feel like, hey, this helps me get things out a little bit better, right? Men's Health Awareness Month, mentality wise, it's a really great thing to be able to either find counseling, and I have to say that, Mental Health Awareness Month is not just for men, but I know we're celebrating for men, it's for everyone, right? It's for everyone, but of course, this month is also being dedicated as far as to men and their journey and things that they may go through that they may need some help. We need help too, right? The second thing is that I do want to talk about, everyone, is, of course, it is Pride Month, everyone. This is Pride Month. So to the LGBTQI, I can't get all of it right, but the community, we love you. I have friends as far as that's in that community as well too, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying something wrong, but I do want to make sure that you guys understand that we love you here too as well. So to everyone that's actually, that's celebrating Pride Month, hey, we love you here on the Rico No Suave show, and we hope that you guys actually are having and enjoying this show too. So it's time to introduce this gentleman here. I gotta introduce this gentleman because this gentleman here has been, you could say that he's been making businesses much successful and also is helping a lot of great businesses grow. And when we say that we're helping businesses grow from a financial standpoint and also just being successful in general, there is a lot that needs to actually, happen when you're actually as an entrepreneur. He's also an author as well too. He is a CEO of Simplified COO. And hey, I want you guys to put your hands together. He is on the show with us. His name is Kevin Wheeler. Let's go. How you
And
doing,
that was an
Kevin?
amazing intro from the music to the topics. I do want to dial back and let you know, thank you for bringing awareness to both of those monthly. It should be always, right? And for
Yes, sir.
me, there's a tie-in between the two. There is a let people be seen,
Mm-hmm.
hear them, and then do something to make them understand that they're seen.
Yes.
And in both of those, whether it's someone crying out for help or
Yes.
whether it's someone that just wants to be them,
Yes.
it's recognize them, let them be seen, honor them from where they are, and help where you can help. So
Yeah.
I did have a client, not to start off on a low note, but I did have a client that he passed on. He took his own life.
Mm.
It was actually an ex-client, but it was just a couple weeks ago, so it really kind of rings home for me. So thank you for that. And then
Yeah,
again, everyone should be heard. Everyone should be listened to. Everyone should be respected. So
that's correct.
thank you for opening with that. That's fantastic.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate that, and I think this is, this is also great because you, as not just entrepreneur, but you also help people from all different types of, areas, cultures, and you're out there as far as helping businesses become successful. But another thing is that you're also helping people on a connection level, no matter what race or gender that they are. You're helping everyone. You're helping humans, and you have to be able to talk to them. You have to be able to communicate with them. And some people become your great friend. Some people just talk once, but you still are out there, helping people grow as well.
It's
So,
all relationships,
yes,
right?
sir.
It's all relationships.
Yes, sir.
And it's that we are honoring what comes across us for what that relationship is.
Yep.
And some are brief, some are long, some are forever, and they're all equally important. So
Yes.
it's a relationship. I used to say, well, what I'm in is a relationship-based business, but then I came to learn it's all relationship-based. I mean, if you're going to give somebody 5-star service in anything that you do, which actually boils straight down from business to I'm going to listen to you,
Yeah.
then you actually have to pour in the effort to do that. And you got to be
Yeah.
present. So anyway,
Yeah.
good stuff. And thank you for the intro.
Hey, no problem at all. Hey, it's about you and it's a little bit about me today. I mean, when it's about you, Kevin Willer, it's all about you. But I need to talk about the journey of you growing up as Kevin Willer. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit, in a summary as far as what was life growing up as a kid, a teenager, getting into adulthood. What was that like with Kevin Willer?
Yeah, so I had a unique upbringing. A lot of people talk about, or they want to ask me about success. And in that success really comes from all of us. It's a lifetime of who we were from a young age and then what we ended up doing with it and how that translated to school and business and so on. And so, I had a unique for myself in at least the neighborhood we were in. I grew up with an African American father I won't even say predominantly. I mean, I think he was the only African American person within quite a few mile radius. And so I learned early on what people can do to you if you're not careful. What the love that they retract, the hate that they can spew. Luckily, I had an upbringing in which I just didn't actually get it for the most part. I'm like, there was some definitely, a lot of slurs, a lot of bullying, and I just marched along going, yes, I do love him. He is my dad. Uniquely, he was a Black Panther as well, and so
Oh, wow.
I had some interesting. He used to take me to the meetings, and we used to. They would all shoot pool and talk while I just kind of ran around and did whatever. I just listened to him, and you have to put the time period in. This was in the late '60s, early '70s, and so if you could take yourself back to the bell bottoms and
Yeah.
colors, and we would, a Cadillac would pull up in front of our house, and they'd be like, "Come on, Kevin," and we'd all jump in the car and go down to the billiard hall. Now, some people would be like, "Wait, that's not appropriate." It was amazing for what it was, and I did overcome, or at least learn to realize, who am I in this? And I am not the person that is yelling a racial slur. I am not the person that is putting a label on myself. I am who I want to see myself as. And so as I moved along, I, kind of marched along that same tune. And it really, I think, helped me be very successful in the sense of overcoming barriers. I didn't see them the way a lot of people would see them. And I know, believe me, people have overcome way more than I will ever even imagine. So I'm telling you the story in that it was an amazing ride,
Yeah.
even though there was the bullying, there was the name calling, there was the kids waiting outside my door for me to come out so they could start yelling stuff. But even then, it just made me where an obstacle or a challenge, I looked at it differently. I looked at it from not what we can't do, but why not? Why can't we do it?
Right.
And so kind of carried that through my life, played sports, college football, ran track. Quick little story on how I even got to track from football. We got in trouble one day. The coach said, you're gonna run a mile in football pads, and if you don't beat your best time ever, you're gonna run another one.
Oh.
And I was able to hit a 4-minute mile in football pads.
Wow.
And the football coach or the track coach was watching. And so I stayed with football all through, but he came and found me long after he was gone. And I took a long running career where I was a competitive athlete, world class, was in Olympic contention, but came up with some injuries and that wasn't able to happen. But still, I mean, just amazing ride. So that's a lot to unpack. I get it.
What position did you play in football?
I was a safety.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The hardest part was dropping from 225 to 165 to go back and forth.
Ooh.
But I also was a very big runner at 165. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you were lighter. Well, but I mean, I'm sure it was like all muscle. But wow, that's a big jump. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you look back again, I just didn't see the challenges the same way. And so why I tell the story is when I'm embracing a client, there's a really solid chance that I'm not going to see it the way they see it. And I let them know that because they're operating we already tried that. We did that once before, or I don't know even what to do.
Right.
And even the ones that say we've done it before, if they can sit with me and we can go through the process of where are they in their culture, and that starts with them,
Yeah.
then we usually can go, okay, wait a minute, this is different. We didn't actually do this before. So,
yeah. So, I'm a sports guy. I love sports. I mean, my father, we grew up on baseball, but also football as well too. Did you have a favorite team growing up?
Well, it was the local team to me, the Rams, when I was young. But in '82, which has only come to be amazing over the last couple of years, I switched to the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why was Joe Delaney.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know of Joe Delaney, but he was the rookie of the year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that ended up trying to save some kids in a lake and passed away. And it resonated with me that someone would jump into the water to save someone else knowing they didn't know how to swim. And it just made me want to embody what he was to that team.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went an interesting route to become a Chiefs fan. And then, of course, there was many years of people going, why are you a Chiefs fan? And now, of course, there's lots of Chiefs fans that were Chiefs fans before. So.
Right. What did you think? So what do you think about the Chiefs? I mean, hey, how many Super Bowls they got now? 3?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
3?
When you can get that mojo, I do believe in X factors, and I do believe that, it's something that you listen to from within yourself.
Yeah.
And you can build a culture where everyone else is doing that. And if they're doing that, again, like I say, the challenges don't come the same. I apply this to my business. I'm like, no, we're going to overcome these challenges. First, we have to be listening. When you listen, you become the X factor. And so they just have the X factor right now where even when it looked like, well, there's no receivers or there's no offensive line, they just keep overcoming that to the best of their ability. Not always, but, to the best of their ability, right? So that's all we can do is everybody has that X factor.
Yep.
They just have to be listening to themselves.
Exactly.
What is the X factor? And so again, tying into the men's mental health, there is an there's an X factor in every human. And if they just hang on and they just do the work to quiet the noise and listen to themselves, they'll find the X factor that ends up making them a winner. And I hate to use winner, loser, and all that stuff. I don't mean that from an ego.
Sure.
I mean that from a self-reflection.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that, even for everyone, but I would say, as as a man myself, it's hard to want to lose or have doors slammed in your face, and where there's negativity that's around you, and it's hard not to listen to it, because it's almost as if there might be criticism there, but it might just be telling you, hey, the world just have you at a standstill right now. You have to continue to keep going. But it does mess with you mentally, because I know sometimes it will do that for me as well too. That's why I always try to keep a smile on my face, even if I'm going through the pain. I keep the smile on my face, but that's what us humans, we go through, right? And it's just lessons learned from mistakes that we make, but also, it could get depressing, after a while, when you have that. So,
and I don't pretend to not embrace that and the love that people need, but the love that you truly need is in yourself. And it's easy for me to say that. I understand that. It is the searching for your voice and quieting the noise at the same time that I think is the key to at least even knowing, who am I? Where am I going? And not the stereotypes that we've all been placed upon, make this, do that, act this way, act that way. You're not measuring up. Measuring up to what? To who, right? In the end, it's like, let's march forward. We're all supposed to be a community.
Right.
All humans.
That's right.
So, what I would say to the people that are struggling, as we embrace pride, as we embrace mental health, is know that there's plenty of people that want to wrap their arms around you. You've just got to be willing to actually see who they are.
That's right. I like that. My man. Hey, so we got to get to this question. Got to get to the question, because we went through, a little bit of the livelihood, and we definitely got to get to, your CEO, simplified COO. Let people know what that CEO stands for, but also, how did you come up with that name?
Yeah, so Chief Operating Officer. So that is just the initials of Chief Operating Officer. And
yes, sir.
That level has a responsibility to it that is different from a CEO. It's different from an owner. It is basically, in my mind, saying it is the arms around you that we're talking about with everything else of, I'm going to put my virtual arms around you and carry your business, your organization to where you need to be. It's really basically taking the lead on all operations. And that can vary from small to, large. Real quick on, a background professionally. So I wanted to be a fish and game warden.
Oh, wow.
I did the testing, and I was waiting for where I'd be placed. I took a job at an outdoor science school teaching science as a teacher, realized I loved the children even more than the outdoors, went back, got the teaching credential, became a teacher, was that for 14 years, did firefighting during the summers for all of those years, and then ended up taking a vacation for a week to Hawaii and didn't come back for 6 years. I worked for Child Protective Services over there, and then when I came back, I didn't know where I wanted to teach. And a buddy of mine was telling me about a large dental organization, and he's like, you should work for that. I'm like, what are you talking about, dental? I mean, I had braces, but I don't know anything about that. He's like, oh no, they have robust training, and they what you'll like is they're competitive, that it's a win-win, that you're helping people, you're helping dentists, you're helping patients, you're helping business. And I was reluctant, but I went on the interview and was blessed to get hired. And since then, it's been a 20-year dental career.
Oh,
and
wow.
Fast forward to 2015, I started realizing when you're in these big organizations, as much success as you can have, I just personally felt kind of like a cog in the wheel of success.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, that's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people can sit with that and be very happy. And hopefully they're getting the recognition that they deserve. But I was like, how do I help more people in a smaller business become a big business if that's what they want to do?
Yeah.
So I started this off with dental in mind. And I was going to help those dentists that had 2, 3 offices. They were hoping to maybe become, a big corporation, or they just organically wanted to grow through their current offices. And I said, hey, I can do this where I help more people because I'm going to do primarily remote. I still go almost monthly out to all my clients.
Nice.
And the idea is I'm going to teach them what I call the culture of yes. And I'm going to help them grow to a point where they need a boots on the ground COO. And from that point, I'll help them find it, I'll train, whatever. But in the end, I ride off into the sunset going, wow, what success.
Yeah.
When I had success right out the gate, I was honored to, but I realized I picked a business model where I go unemployed. So because I was still doing something I was passionate about. What I myself didn't realize, and people came to me, was what I was guiding, offering, teaching was similar in the restaurant industry and nightclub. And I've worked with a zipline company, a botanical garden.
Yeah.
I now have a client at a biodynamic farm in Arizona. Nice. And so it actually applies to almost everything, because really it is about putting the processes, protocols, and best practices in place.
Yeah.
And then teaching both accountability, but also how to help people feel empowered to do the job that you hired them to do. And when you do that correctly, it becomes a beautiful salad of success.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of it. It translated to a lot. So to go back to your question, even though I'm the CEO of my company and the owner, I specifically wanted to call it what would be considered the next executive down. I don't consider that, but just that's what would be considered on purpose. So they would know I was more in the trenches, but I also had the level of experience to offer them executive guidance.
I like that. I like that piece because listening to what you're saying in regards to how you went from different industries, and especially to be in the dentist industry, I mean, just can't help, but you can't help but to smile, because you're in the dentist industry for over so many years. You actually have probably met so many different types of people, but within that business as well too, that may have other businesses or other people in different other industries that may need that, that need that help, when it came down to it. Now, you did say something about some dentist offices that may just have 2 to 3 offices. Have you helped any businesses that just had that one single office? They didn't want to grow and expand from, having different sites, but just growing from an economic state to just get bigger and bigger and bigger from a client base in one site.
Yeah, and that's where, I talk about when I mentioned organic growth. Yeah. So it's kind of growth with what you have. And I've had clients that have reached out that have done really well, but they feel something is stagnant. And then one that it has been a single office, but they expect to grow. And, I have a great story in which I was working with a group it was a single office. They stayed a single office, but they had 6 operatories, and operatories are the rooms where the dentistry takes place. Uh-huh. And they bought the Wells Fargo in the strip mall and one other, I think it was a Cupcake or something like that. And pretty soon they were still one dental office, but they had 32 operatories and offered all the specialties under one roof.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it doesn't really, the concepts are the same. What my goal is to meet the client where they are currently, make sure we identify that, is that the top issue, let's say, because normally they approach me with a challenge. And then again, yeah, it doesn't matter whether we're doing locations all over the U.S. or we just got one office or we have one flower shop. Or there's nothing limited to what I'm willing to do. And then I tailor exactly what it looks like to have my engagement on those different sizes as well, too. There's some people that just want telephone guidance. There's people that want weekly meetings, usually virtually. There's some that want me there in person. There's some that want me to actually be called the CEO of the organization and run it from an operating standpoint. So I've got a blend all over the place. And so luckily, because I have a nice role of, again, if I'm successful, they're becoming functional because I can't move all over the country. I already did that, by the way, with different big organizations. I'm not moving all over. I'm giving them what they need to get to a financial point to have that permanent person right there beside them. So that's the goal. And then I'm able to, I'm available for someone else.
Yeah. I was about to say, as you, of course, get younger, and you're actually going out and doing different things, sometimes we help so many people that if they say, hey, I want you to be a CEO of my company, sometimes that comes with having a chauffeur. You know what I mean? Somebody that say, hey, you're gonna have to drive me around to these sites because I can't do it all on the gas I'm on. Right. Yeah. So, that's interesting because that kind of caught my attention when someone you have your own business, but they want you to come in and be a CEO of their business. It's almost like, okay, so how is this hierarchy going to be? Is it simplified COO? And then you have, kind of like a hierarchy or a tree of you being a CEO of one company, a CEO of another. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. It normally, again, I want them to be empowered. Sure. So if they decide they want basically, a greater amount of my time, I'm coming in as the COO of their company. There's nothing, about simplified CEO within it. In fact, if they want, I'll put on like a LinkedIn, page as the CEO of their office, and maybe that drives traffic. It drives talent, to come to the table. And so I'm truly immersed, within that time period. I would not call myself a consultant because I'm actually going to show you how to do it. I'm going to actually come beside you and roll up my sleeves and show your team how to do it. And, a lot of the consultant industry goes off of a playbook that they are the subject matter experts for. Nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what some people need. What I want to do is bring my myriad of experience that I just spoke of, pull out the best practices and tailor it towards your business.
Right.
Not my playbook.
Right.
It's you. And so I think that is what makes my approach different. So I don't come in going, if you want to be successful, it has to be A, B, and C. I will guide them into that. But their success may be CBA. Totally fine. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to be entrenched in that it has to be my way. We're going to be collaborative and explore best practices all the way across.
Yeah. So, I really like that. I really like that piece. I mean, when we come back from this commercial break, I definitely want to talk a little bit about, the kind of the techniques and that you use to be able to help certain businesses, because there are certain things that people may want you just to take over because they really don't have that experience to do so. But, when we come back from this commercial break, everybody, you already know my man, Kevin Wheeler, is here, Simplified COO, and he's also an author, which we'll be talking about shortly as well, too. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Don't forget to ask questions. And if you asking questions to the TV, we can't hear you, but we feel you. We'll be back in 30 seconds, everybody. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave, and I'm here with none other than we simplifying things around here. I love to simplify because it makes it easier for everybody to grow. CEO, my man Kevin Willard. Kevin, are you having a good time?
Oh my God. Ray, yeah, it's incredible. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's lovely connecting with you.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Hey, simplifying things comes with techniques for different businesses, and I'm in my brain, because I'm also an entrepreneur, and there's certain templates and there's certain things that you have to have for certain individuals, and when I say individuals within a certain company, because when you go into a company, you kind of want to understand the business model. What are you guys doing and where do you want to go, right? Have you ran into a situation where you had a technique where this might work, but then you have a few other people that might have different ideas than you? How did that all come together with, your strategy and your techniques with helping certain businesses?
Again, that goes back to the relationships, so we spoke of that before and how important
Yeah.
that is in creating it. So when I have a client, I have some that are totally comfortable with me just starting remotely, but I'm not comfortable with that. I need to come in and actually shake hands and connect with people. If somebody starts to be the eye in the sky and they're like, we need to do this differently, that's not going to resonate with the team.
Right.
They want someone that, well, technically, they want someone that's been in the trenches already. What I have to do in any consultant type is make them feel empowered to understand the subject matter that we are experts on and how we can support them, not change it. So the first thing I always get is what's changing. And I say, no, we are enhancing. We're not changing anything.
Right.
I want them to know that I look at it when I go in and I start off usually with like an assessment.
Right.
What I'm looking for is what's going really well, not what needs to be changed. So many people spend time chasing or correcting. Let's say you got a chain of ice cream stores. Well, you're spending all your energy and all your money into, the worst one, at least the worst, revenue. When if you spent more time in the top three, you would double revenue, and you could handle and carry that 10th one and explore longer. What is it? Is it geographics? Did we do the correct demographics? What do we need to change? Does the team understand the why? And so, that's a piece that makes it a little bit different because most people mark straight to, well, you got this you got this problem and we need to fix it. I'm looking for, which is why I stumbled on my words, the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Where is it where,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, you walk by something every day, for whatever, years and years, and people go, that picture is beautiful. And you actually never noticed the picture was there.
Right.
That's the piece of, there is a successful low-hanging fruit in every business.
Yeah.
That the owner and the team no longer can see, just out of the redundancy of the job.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm not sure if I completely answered that. Let me know.
Yeah, you did. But one thing is, we kind of talked about how you build relationships, right? Because building relationships helps you understand what each person is thinking. But there's always differences within companies where it could be a struggle with trying to find the right path to go down in order to be successful, because you might have the basic strategy, you might have the basic floor plan, right? And you say, hey, I got the foundation here, but then someone else might come in and say, hey, you know what, how about if we change this? Or how about we change this? And we kind of have like a brainstorming session. And then you finally have to say, okay, well, we'll take what you have and then we'll try to grow off of it. But it has to be, at least one common path that you at least have to start off with and then make changes down the line. But I think that's where you're
That's
coming
right.
from.
I think that's the piece, and my apologies that I missed to reflect on. So for me, what it is that I think most people don't, at least the people I have run across, don't spend time with is the why of the employee.
Mm-hmm.
They create their mission statement, their vision statement, their core principles, which is great. You got to do that. But when you're speaking to it, when you're actually teaching that, that's when you need to know the why of the actual employee, so you can tie it to your why.
Right.
And so we do assumptions that someone wants more money, someone wants more security, someone would benefit from a bonus program. But those are all assumptions unless we actually spend time. And so I do an initial interview with each employee when I'm asking them questions. They're strategic, but they are about the business. But when I join, we have a very different conversation. And it usually will take once or twice where you go in because everyone's trying to figure out, okay, what's he trying to get? What should I say? What shouldn't I say? And I purposefully do not talk about the typical business questions. How are you? What drives you in life? Family, kids. Tell me about you, from what was the most impactful thing that happened in your childhood. Much like you had led this interview. And with that, again, the first time they're looking at, this is weird. This guy's asking questions, double clicking. They're not that regular. And then you have another one, though, intentfully. And it's the same thing. And you start to integrate what's going on. And they start to share things with you that you would not know unless you spent that extra time. And it's not hard. We're talking 10 minutes the first one, 5 minutes the second one. And I'll give you an example. I had a underperforming dentist, at least by what the company felt, that he wasn't engaged in actually starting treatment, even if the patients needed treatment. So I did my regular process where I met with them, and we just kind of had a conversation. I call them connection meetings. But after the third time, I just sat down and I said, "How are you?" And I said, "Are you feeling okay?" And he's like, "I'm feeling stressed." I go, "What's going on?" And again, this is stuff you wouldn't have known if you just passed by and said, "How's everything going?" And he said, "Well, my wife wants $1 million wedding. I mean, she has got that locked in that it better not be less than $1 million. And I don't know, how to make that happen." Well, now you have an underperforming dentist that hadn't been doing dentistry, and you have their why. And now you have a different conversation, right? You have a power that you naturally wouldn't. I'm not telling him to do more dentistry. I'm not telling him to diagnose differently. Mm-hmm. I'm telling him what he needs to do, what he needs to look at, how he needs to connect with the patient, that then will drive him to get the revenue he needs to have the $1 million wedding. So it's a different approach, but it drives individual success from each team member that then just comes together like a tree and grows the entire business. Sure, there's different branches, right? But it's one tree. So, and that's totally okay.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I like the way you handle that. That was awesome. Wow. Wow. So, I think because time is flying by fast, and I feel like, man, we need more time for all of this.
Keep going. Let's go another hour.
But I do want to talk about, and you are hitting some really great points in regards to, this is just how you as a business owner and how you're handling certain things. It's just, how can I say it? It's more of just getting involved and knowing exactly how things are at. I do want to ask you another question. When you started your business, as far as with this, was there any struggles that you had with starting your businesses that you overcame?
The biggest struggle was I started it when I lived in Hawaii. And the first client I got was in Boston. And I was prepared for that. But we were having meetings at like 2 a.m. my time, and they could see it was completely dark behind me. And it bothered them. And it was funny as I worked through it, and it didn't matter whether I said it was okay, with me. it bothered them. Now, that's a different challenge that you're going to have than other businesses, so I recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one that kind of stirred a little while because business in Hawaii at the time, things changed with the remote uptick coming from COVID. But back then, it was you're on a different island, different time zone. You might as well be in a different country. So I had to just stick with it. But that very first client actually turned into 6 more clients in Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
So I overcame that to a certain extent, although I was like, why can't I find anybody in California? But most of my growth has been through, not from marketing, it's been from word of mouth. It's been from people hearing the story and reaching out and going, do you think you could help me? Well, the answer is yes, because I just like to connect with people, and from that can come help, right? Yeah. I'm helped by everyone I meet. You've helped me by inviting me on here, and not from a business standpoint, but a personal connection from meeting you. So that was uniquely a challenge. But I tell you, from that point, I've just been blessed. We'll go back to the X factor. I have not had the challenges that others that have had. And so I recognize that. I praise them for sticking with their challenges. And much like everything else we've talked about today, it's listen to yourself, stay strong through these challenges. You will be seen when the right person actually sees your value.
Nice. So how many people do you have like on your, do you have staff members or just you, Kevin?
It's just me.
Man.
And I have tried to have team members, to be honest, but what I realized is you can't necessarily transfer my effect on another human being through somebody else.
I see.
And what I didn't want was to be misrepresented.
What about a secretary?
I do not. You know one? No, I'm just kidding. Luckily, I have good organizational skills.
Okay.
It's more about, like, everything we need is a discipline, right? Success comes within that discipline. And so it's discipline to be able to have sometimes the challenging conversations of, yes, I can help you, but at this time. And they're like, I need you now. And I hear you. And I want you. And I will if I can. But the discipline of keeping a schedule, it's kind of the key for a person. But someday I'm going to meet, the people that can handle my craziness and that I resonate with. But it has not affected. I can't say yes to every client, and that's too bad. But if I'm not the one doing it, then they're not getting me anyway. And so,
right.
I don't really struggle with it because I'm like, I'll give you what I can and I'll tell you what I can do. And maybe you don't need me. And I always tell people that I'm not going to, if I'm like, what you really need is this, I'm not going to just, waste someone's time or take someone's money if it doesn't feel connected to me.
Yeah. I like that. And the only reason why I ask that because you have, there's so many clients and that you may, take on that you would love to say yes to everyone. But it's sometimes it's really hard to be double booked. I guess depends on the situation. Cause for me, it's always like, hey, are you available this day? Hey, are you available this day? And we got, certain people that want to be helped on the same day. In some cases, but it's good that you're able to organize that because keep it simplified, and say, hey, I have you on this day, and keep it going. But I guess
it's a dance. It's a dance, but it's a dance. But that's okay if the music's playing. That's what you got to do.
That's right. Let the music play. Yeah, that's all I say. Let the music play and never give up. Don't turn it off.
Who was that? Was that Rihanna? Who's saying let the music play? Now I'm going to dig myself. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
And there's a difference in my upbringing. There's not too many people my age that be like, OJ's? Yeah, right on. So I've been blessed, you know.
Yes, sir. Everybody, you already know it's my man Kevin Wheeler here. He is CEO, Simplified COO. When we come back, everybody, we have to talk about him being an author. But Kevin, hold on to your seats, baby, because it's time for NASCAR Moments. Let's get it on. NASCAR Moments, everybody. Yes, we're Rico No Suave. And the Rico No Suave show is always great to be able to do some great things around NASCAR. One thing about NASCAR is that they also was geared towards June, which is actually for men's mental health awareness. And NASCAR actually has done some great things, of course, with my man Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, if you go onto the website for NASCAR.com, you'll be able to see, of course, I put the play button there, so don't try to press your screen. The rituals we share featuring Chase Elliott in regards to some of the journeys and things that he have done as a man himself, and gearing it towards the month of mental health awareness for men itself. So go ahead and check out that. That's going to be a great moment for you guys to be able to see. But there's something else I want to read off to you guys, which is Love Your Mind. Love Your Mind. The Love Your Mind campaign from Huntsman Mental Health Institute and Ad Council is dedicated to encouraging a more open, accepting, proactive society when it comes to mental health. And this is for everyone. So make sure you go to loveyourmindtoday.org. And yes, it's always about being accepted and also someone there to be able to help you, encourage you to stay positive and being able to continue to love yourself and love people around you. Let's get back to my man, Kevin Mueller. Kevin, how you doing, sir?
Bring it. You know, if you can't love yourself, you're not prepared to love somebody else. So, um,
Exactly. Exactly.
great, great feedback. And
Yes, sir.
you know, you got to do the work to love yourself because
Yes,
again, there's
sir.
a bunch of noises and there's people talking you down and there's people making up stories and you can't sit with other people's stories. Just stay within your own.
That's right. That's right. Kevin, loving yourself always comes with some people have diaries that they write, and some people write books like yourself. And sometimes when you're writing a book, it's something that you have a passion of or you want the world to be able to know about. Now you have written books before, so tell us about a book that you have written, and then of course a little bit of synopsis because I don't want people to know the name of the upcoming one, but I want you to give a little bit of synopsis or a teaser of what they should be looking for coming next.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I have just been honored to have people embrace the different mindset I might have about different topics. All of our opinions are important, right? Everyone, if you have an opinion, it is truly important. No one should be ignored. But I have been blessed to have some people approach me going, "Why don't you write about your opinion, or your story, or your
Yes, sir.
reflection?" And so I got invited to collaborate with 33 other businessmen, former athletes, through a book called Winner's Mindset. Um, and that was amazing to be a piece of. And that was more, again, talking bits and pieces about, for me, I spoke about that culture of yes I talked about. And I didn't really expand upon it, but for me, a culture of yes is something that could be in one person, it could be in a family, it could be in an organization. And that means that you have a positive thought that you can overcome any internal and external obstacles to the success that you want to have. And so there's a lot to unpack on that specifically, but I spoke about what I call, again, the culture of yes. And the second book, a dear friend and colleague of mine, Joseph Bonner, invited me to expand on some of the things we've talked about from the success standpoint of this business model. And so he invited me to collaborate with him on a book called How to Earn a Six-Figure Income from Home. And so that was amazing. My next baby, I call it, because it is just my creation, was something that I wanted to bring that is near and dear to my heart, and that's reciprocity. And how reciprocity can become a culture within any business. and I expand on what that means exactly. Um, and I don't mean, when I look at reciprocity, it isn't the sense of that I'm going to do you a favor so I get a favor. It is the natural flow that if you treat somebody the way they should be treated, it will come back to you, even if it's not that person. So it's a bigger scale reciprocity. But through business, there's a lot that you can do to garner your community. First, your office, right? And your culture, your business, your structure, whatever it is. Then it's your initial clients that you're trying to attract. Then it's the community, which is unfortunately kind of where we stop. We have the community, but then we have, well, the community as long as you're going to be a client. I need a customer. But we want to stay engaged with the community. And from the community, it becomes, the state, or the city, the state, the country, the world. What are we? Are we living in a state of reciprocity where we are willing to do things that are going to make a huge impact and have a ripple effect? And just trust that if it was going to come back to us and we were going to benefit, that we're not doing it for that reason. We're enjoying that we know that that's how life works. So I can get into specifics if you want, but that's kind of the mindset of the next book. It's reciprocity within the workplace and within a business to grow both of those to create the culture that you want.
That's awesome, man. Oh, wow. That is awesome, man. As far as the books so the book before, of course, not the teaser, of course. We don't want to know as far as, I would love to know when that's coming out, but the one that you already, as far as co-authored, as far as with, is that out for purchase?
Yeah. There's the first one. They're both out on Amazon.
Okay.
And the first one is actually something that was so near and dear to my heart to be a part of, that I don't financially, gain anything. The second one with Joseph Bonner, intentionally, I wanted the proceeds to go to the Bully Avenger, which is an organization that he's passionate about. Yeah. Again, I mean, I have a family. Do I need money? Of course, but that's not why I would write something, if that makes sense. I'm writing something to give up, and my next book will have where the proceeds will go to something more meaningful. I want to basically have a voice through the writings that I offer, whether in collaboration or myself. So
that's awesome.
So yeah, both of those are on Amazon, and that second one is actually on my website as well.
Awesome. So I got two photos. I have two photos that I do want to show you that we have. So there's one photo that you were actually on a magazine cover that I want to bring up, and I just want to know, what was your reaction, or did you know it was coming as far as in 2021 when you were actually on this for JM magazine? So what was that? We'll bring that back up. We'll bring that one back up. Let's bring that photo back up. I just I want to take a look at that again. So with this one, explain to us in regards to, what did you feel like when you actually saw yourself on the cover of a magazine?
Well, you know what? I am not a big picture person, so
I can't tell. That's never that was a nice photo.
It's not like I'm like, woo, excited. What I am honored is to have the opportunities, and to share story, to share space, to embrace, this article had things of, we all know about the rise and fall of Bill Cosby and the domestic violence and mental health. And so although what I offered was more around my business, I wanted to be a part of something like this because it felt, special. So, and I wanted to kind of reflect I'll put myself, right out there into the most interesting situations if it is a chance to, within that, weave the opportunity to help another person.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's cool, man. That I gotta be fair. I mean, it's knowing just being on, a magazine cover. It's just cool. And saying that you're not photogenic, you're definitely business minded, where you can be on those Fortune 500. I can definitely see that as far as with you, which is pretty super cool to actually be on that. It's good to be able to know. So time is always on our side, but sometimes it's not on our side because the show is almost over, Kevin. But I do got one more question for you. What is your favorite food?
Ooh, my great question. My favorite food would be okay. What can I not resist? So I am vegetarian. When I
Okay.
travel, I'm vegetarian. When I'm
Okay.
at home, I'm vegan because my wife
Okay.
forces me.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna say, the good old pizza though is gonna get me. And I'm not talking about gluten free either. I'm talking about going full board. I won't do the meat, but I'll do everything else that you can do.
Okay, so pizza is a strong word here in Chicago.
That's
Um,
emotions.
it's real,
You
a
say
lot of
pizza.
emotion, a lot of emotions here as far as when it comes to. So, have you been to Chicago?
I have been.
Okay. Have you had the pizza
Oh,
here?
don't do this to me. Don't ask me to. That's not
I
even
did,
nice. Okay, so I have been. Love Chicago pizza. You're gonna
Okay.
make me say it, huh? But I lived for a while in New York.
Ah,
Um, no, you know what? I'm not gonna finish that. And that's lovely pizza too. How about that?
I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm gonna leave it as that. You're still a winner in our book because you started off with. Hopefully, I got you into Chicago first. But I got something for you. I got a shirt for you, my man.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
I'm
So,
honored. I'm honored.
yes,
Thank you for
sir.
taking the time to spend time with me.
Yes, sir. So I got a shirt for you. This shirt means a lot to giving this to you because there is such a how can I say this? There is so many great things you have done for businesses overall. There's a lot of things that people don't know about starting a business or being able to get help with business. But you did say one big word that was there, but it means a lot. It's called building relationships. Relationships is such a great deal of being able to connect with people because not everybody can actually do it when from a business standpoint. Sometimes they're either just business oriented or they're technical, but then they don't have the personality to be able to understand the human nature of connecting with people. And I think for yourself, as simplifying things as a COO, I think you have helped a lot of people from a dentistry to continue to make them smile, no pun intended, with the dentistry. I think you actually made everything right for certain people to become that successful, and also for people like yourself, where you struggled to be able to make those accomplishments happen for yourself to see where you're at today. So, congratulations
I
and,
hope
and
so.
welcome
Thank
to
you.
the Rico No Suave show team, sir. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you. I am honored. I will wear that with pride. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so we're going to put up your social media real quick because we need to let people know how to get in contact with you. And of course, everyone, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and show that love. And that's LinkedIn. Yes, that's Kevin Wheeler, Simplified COO. Yes, please make sure you go ahead and don't spam them. It's all about business on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, make sure you go ahead and connect with him. Hey, if you have a business, and some of my friends I know that are watching today, make sure that you go ahead and contact my man Kevin Wheeler because I know your business can also help with his strategy. Here's the next one. We have Facebook, everybody. Yes, official Kevin Wheeler. Yes. Go ahead, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and like and love everything he's actually doing there. Here's the next one. Oh, yeah, it's Instagram. Easy enough. It's simplified. Very simple. Simplified COO. Make sure you go ahead and follow him on Instagram. He'll be posting pretty often. And then I think I have one more, and it's the big one. Yes, kevinwheeler.org. Because it is an organization, everybody. So make sure you go ahead and check him out. Some really great stuff as far as on his website. Contact him there and, just contact him. You'll thank me later. Forget about it. You'll thank me later. Kevin, Beautiful times today.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Keep
Man,
doing that wonderful work.
Yes, I had a great time. Hey, we're going to keep in contact with each other, but thank you so much for being on the show with us today and just giving us some really great inspiration, but also telling us as far as how you help businesses. And also, congratulations on your book and also to your books to come as well, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody put your hands together. My man, Kevin Wheeler. Yeah. All right, Kevin, I'll see you later, my man. You take care and have a great day.
Thank you. We'll see you again soon.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, we got to get your boy Rico No Suave. Yes, I hope you guys had a great time as far as with us here on the Rico No Suave show. And yes, I had such a blast as far as on the show today. And hopefully you guys had a great time too. Yeah, it's all about success around here. But we got to put up our social media as well too, everyone. So, hey, follow us on Instagram. Yes, it's Instagram at Rico No Suave Show. Yes, make sure you go ahead and follow us there. All right, here's the next one. Oh, yeah, Facebook. Go ahead and like and love everything there on Facebook. Rico No Suave Show, everybody. Okay, here's the next one. All right, Rico No Suave Show on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everybody, we finally hit 500 subscribers. Yes, we hit a big milestone, so please go ahead and keep that number going. All right, here's the next one. Oh, yeah, Mixcloud. Of course, there's Mixcloud, everybody. Mixcloud, make sure you go to Rico No Suave Show. And then last but not least, we got our website, everybody. We got to put our website because you got to know where we're from, www.riconosuaveshow.com. Make sure you please go ahead and follow us there. Go ahead. Do it now. Everybody, we got to get out of here, but thank you guys so much for actually being here on the show. Big shout out to John T. for Free, Donna Marie Bird, Beatrice, all of my regulars that's actually tuning in, and everybody that's else brand new. But we got to get out of here. But thank you guys so much for all of the love, and we'll see you next time as we end off the show just like